Big win today. You know, these are the tricky ones. You know, when you get games sandwiched in between big games, you know, like the cup final or the Barca game, you never quite know how we're going to be energy-wise. But 3 points, 3 goals. How do you assess that today?
Yeah, delighted with the result. I thought the first half an hour or so was a little bit dodgy. Iheanacho was quite interesting tactically. Iheanacho obviously has had his injury problems, but we know his quality coming into pockets, linking play, drawing our centre halves out. And I thought both Martinez and Lindelof, even it's difficult to sort of put Martinez off, but he was a little bit shaky.
Yeah, a couple of little decisions he made of when to go into battle and when not to, and then that hurt us a little bit. Then he settled down.
Obviously, Barnes and Tete very, very direct in behind, so he was pulling our centre backs and they were creating space in behind. But since, I mean, that moment from Bruno, I think was it outside the foot?
Outside the boot, first time, easy.
And then Rashford, you just knew what was going to happen.
And if you're Garnacho in that situation, you're thinking, oh, maybe Marcus, you could just no.
When you're in form, you just got to go for it. And yeah, absolutely delighted to get that first goal, and then obviously the confidence started coming, and then obviously the second half. We got the decision. It looked really. I don't know what it looked like from where you were sitting.
I haven't seen it back.
Really
it looked like it just. Sorry, I lost my mic there. You know when the players cross over and the ball gets, but it looked like one of them. It's incredibly tight. I haven't seen it back yet, but they got to the right decision.
One of Rashford's best attributes is I think he's improved actually the timing of his movements. I think if you remember last season, a lot of offside decisions, but his split-second decision making has been a lot better with his movement in behind. So yeah, absolutely delighted again.
Yeah, and the players just seem to find gears and ways to get out of tough moments in games. I mean, look, David De Gea, let's just start there. I mean, look, you can talk about his distribution, and a lot of people do that, and fair enough, there's a lot of conversation around that. When it comes to making big saves, he literally keeps us in that game. Otherwise, that game could have been out of sight in the first half if he didn't make those big saves.
Yeah, 2 massive saves. I think one with his foot.
Yeah,
the first one, and then the second one was he clawed it back from behind.
It's an unbelievable save from that for Iheanacho header.
And that was really, really good from De Gea. Look, I know he gets his criticism. I think a lot of people there's extremes obviously on Twitter, both sides, but when you just got to judge the 90 minutes, and on the 90 minutes, shot stopping was very, very good. Obviously distribution, we know he can work on this and that, but I think obviously you need a goalkeeper to pull out those massive saves. You see yesterday the impact that Alisson has got. Nick Pope suspended for us for the final because of that amazing pass. So goalkeepers can have big impacts in games both ways. So yeah, really, really delighted that De Gea made those.
Attacking wise again as well, you know. Eric makes a change at half-time, gets Garnacho off. I thought Garnacho, he struggled a little bit with Castagna's intensity and runs, and you could see that Eric wasn't happy with that. But he brings in Sancho, but in the 10 position. What have you made about Weghorst playing in the 10, now Sancho playing in the 10? Basically Bruno not playing there as a tactic in the absence of Anthony.
Yeah, I think what Weghorst does well, I think Ten Hag will actually be liking what Weghorst is doing. Like Weghorst is not a prolific finisher, he's not a prolific goal scorer, but he's a good team player. He links play reasonably well. First half a few sloppy passes, but second half I thought he was better. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that not everyone is in the team to score goals, and it might sound silly to say it, but Weghorst isn't actually in our team to be the main goal scorer. That's not his main job. Eric Ten Hag doesn't see him as the main goal scorer. Rashford, obviously we need him to chip in with a few, and he's missed a big chance today and a big chance on Thursday. But I think Ten Hag put that to the side. His actual overall performance, his pressing. He made a great tackle on Iheanacho on the edge of the box. And we talk about Wan-Bissaka's long legs. Have you seen Weghorst? When he goes,
he's got every limb's long.
It's like he drifts in the air for a couple of seconds and somehow gets his leg around it. So I think the sort of tactical fluidity we have. You saw Sancho, as you said, coming into the 10, linking play really, really well. And this is why Eric Ten Hag's such a good manager. You know, not many managers in the world can bring Wout Weghorst in. And all due respect to Wout Weghorst, you know, a lot of people give him criticism, but we don't look at. He's still performing. You know, he's still having.
And the team doesn't look worse. The team is actually functioning at a relatively high level, and it's not like he's an incredible passenger. Basically, does he give us balance? Is he giving the team a bit of balance?
He is, and also in both boxes, he's not actually the best in the air.
It's not. He never wins any headers.
He actually quite funny to say that, but what he does do, he might put the player off. So I remember in the first half, Wout Faz beat him in the air.
Yeah.
But then the ball drops, and Weghorst uses his body, and then regains possession and passes it on. So people just look at the one thing, but what does he do after that? Well, he puts the defender off and he keeps possession. So yeah, I think Weghorst is actually contributing. And let's not forget, Weghorst he didn't maybe come to play every game. You know, Martial, you know, he's injured. Weghorst probably didn't expect to come and play, and he's playing a lot, you know, 70, 80, 90 minutes in a lot of games. So fair play, he's keeping these, you know, he's playing decently well. playing decently well.
And Sancho, comes on in the 10 position, gets his goal. Rashford picks up the ball, finds Bruno. Bruno cut back, Sancho left foot, good goal. And he looked like he was expressing himself a little bit. Obviously, when the game was at 3-0, couple of olays, just expressing himself. And smiles on his face at the end. How happy have you been to see him back? And how interesting is it to see Ten Hag trust him as well in the 10 position?
Yeah, I think a lot of people overreacted to Sancho going away. I think he needed his time. We don't know what happened. Could have been a family matter.
Yes.
The same happened with Wan-Bissaka. Look how Ten Hag managed that. So I think he's managing these players well. But Sancho, I'm not going to say he's world class yet, but he has got world class sort of tendencies. Some of his first touches, the way he wriggles out of space, his link up play, and I've noticed he came towards the sort of the stand when somebody was taking a throw in, I think, and you could see his actual physical frame. You could see how much that's improved since he left.
Yeah, when you're up close, you can see it.
And you can see how much physically he's. And I think at the burst of pace, I think he looks a bit faster, looks a bit more direct. So yeah, delighted. Yeah.
Barca next.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
No, obviously Gavi's suspended.
Yeah.
Pedri's probably injured. And we went to the new camp and played like that and should have won. We dominated on all the stats, the XG, everything. So. On the eye test, you said we had a lot of chances, but also if you look in the stats, we created a lot of massive chances. So coming back here at home against Barcelona without two of their best players, you have to fancy us as favourites. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But obviously, I hope that's not sort of Sunday isn't a distraction for that Thursday game. I hope we stay focused. But Ten Hag, disciplined. I think we've got a lot of experienced players, so they should stay focused and disciplined.
In that back line, or actually in the team, would you make any changes? I mean, obviously there's the obvious one of bringing, Casemiro will play and Varane. But would you keep that same sort of front line? Would you keep Weghorst just behind Rashford and? Would you keep Bruno on the right, Sancho on the left? Like, what sort of team would you put out against Barca?
I think it's going to be difficult because this is the first time we've had Casemiro, Sabitzer and Fred all available at the same time.
Yeah.
So maybe Ten Hag thinks, well, is Weghorst needed in there now? We've got a bit more physicality with Casemiro back. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what he does again at left back and left centre back, because he likes Malacia against a very direct wide player. So he played him against Saka in the. He didn't play away at Arsenal, but he played home to Arsenal. Malacia played up against Saka, and he played in the City game here as well. And he played at Barcelona against Rafinha. So does he keep Malacia in? And obviously, I don't think he wants Malacia and Martinez both together. I don't think they've ever played too many minutes there, because obviously the height.
Interesting, that,
not too physical in terms of their height. So will he play Shaw at left centre back again? Bring Shaw back in, and this is why we love the manager. We just don't know what he's going to do. So and then Wan-Bissaka or Dala, you've got that argument. Obviously, it depends what Barcelona do with Gavi, because he's suspended now. So on that side, do they bring in a more direct player? Obviously, Gavi comes inside more. So it depends what type of player they bring. Obviously, if they bring that direct player, Wan-Bissaka would be better for that.
Who was your man of the match actually finish off?
You got obviously De Gea, Rashford. I'm going to go for Rashford again. I thought he was really, really good. He's 2 goals. Cheers, mate.
Always love, man. Thank you.